Hola mis amores, hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Velvet Cat, a fashion illustrator and instructor in Los Angeles, with videos consisting of knowledge and inspiration for fashion design, illustration, and entrepreneurship. And last year, I got a new passion for tarot, so now I also post weekly collective pick-a-card tarot readings to provide you with some answers for any questions you might be experiencing in your life, advice messages from the angels that are watching over us, motivation to follow your dreams, and all around empower you in love, career, health, mind, and soul. If you've never seen a tarot video before, basically, we show you some options for you to pick intuitively with what you feel and what option is really pulling you in so that you can hear a message that is most tailored to your current life experiences, and it's exactly what you needed to hear, and it answers your questions, as I already mentioned. And after you pick an option, which could be anything, by the way, they could be cards, they could be decks, they could be toys. And so once you pick an option, then you can fast forward the video to that respective message, for which I've provided timestamps in the description and the comment section, pinned comment of this video. But if within the very first minute of hearing your message, it doesn't sound like you at all, since these are general readings, then you can go back and pick a different option. Sometimes the angels and guides that I ask for answers also might not provide everything because they want you to take charge of your own life choices and to trust in your own divine protector, whichever that may be based on your spirituality. So you're ready to pick an option for what you can expect in your upcoming month of February 2021? Let's check them out. Alright, so these are the options you can choose from for your February reading. I've got these awesome chess pieces from my Harry Potter chess set. And so for your options, you've got pile 1 with the queen, pile 2 with the tower, pile 3 with the bishop, and pile 4 with the king. Take a moment to breathe in and breathe out so that you can choose intuitively with which piece is pulling you in, and then you can fast forward the video to the message that is most tailored to your current life. And remember that if you pick the wrong reading, like it doesn't sound like you at all, you can always come back here and pick a different piece. Hey there, group 1. So you chose the queen chess piece, and I decided to do something fun, make this February reading a little more fun by having here the actual calendar months and seeing where the cards fall. Of course, then we'll get some clarifiers and the overall energy and details for love and career. But if you love this, once I do this reading, once we're done with it today, if you love this, comment it below, and that way I could bring it back each month. It's just something new I'm trying. All right, so let's get right into it. If you're new to tarot pick-a-card readings on YouTube, or you're new to my channel, just know that not everything will resonate because these are general readings for a lot of people's different stories. So just take what clicks with you and leave the rest for specific details for other people. And if the reading doesn't sound like you at all from within the very first minute, remember you can go back and pick a different pile. Okay, so let's see what cards you got here in your calendar. In the beginning of the month of February, we've got 10 of Cups reversed with 5 of Wands also reversed. And the cards say satiety, and strife. Along with that, on top of those, you got the card Renewal, which says, reviewing the past with compassion and forgiveness. Time to head in a new direction. Clarity on your life purpose. In your heart, you know what to do. All right, so for the beginning of the month, with these two cards reversed, it does look like perhaps you could have been giving too much of yourself or having disagreements, actually not having disagreements with people, where you hold back what you feel and think. Maybe that's actually what you've been contemplating, what you've been thinking about towards the end of January and beginning of February, where you're kind of looking back at your past. And that's why the renewal card here, it's saying that you need to look at it with a perspective of compassion and forgiveness. We don't want to dwell too long on our past to where it can drain us as we feel the emotions again, and then cloud us from moving forward or bringing our best to our work and our new relationships. Perhaps your month of February is actually going to be here. This is actually clarifying the renewal card even more, and you have Ace of Swords with the Devil reversed. The Devil being a card of those addictions, those distractions, the negativity, toxicity, anxiety, and with Aces being new beginnings, Swords being very intellectual cards of mind and communication. Perhaps that is where you are switching from holding back to communicating authentically, to opening up, being true to you. See, the Five of Wands tends to be the card of like confrontations and disagreements, but because it's reversed, that is where I get the feeling that you're not the type of person to allow those confrontations, like you stay away from them. But now with the Ace of Swords, you are speaking out. This could be with your relationships and work, because you want a better life and you finally believe in it. This is a very transformational month. This is even clarified in these cards. These are your overall energies. And you've got here, break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future, along with transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing. Look at that. I feel like you're learning to trust in your intuition and to see yourself as the goddess or the king that you really are. Treating yourself as important as you are. Perhaps even having a bit of spoil me time without the play card here. Having fun and celebrating and not being serious. It's looking like she's having a nice bath. Perhaps you're gonna do that and have a wine glass, or have yourself a little time of like a spa at home, or even do something fun that involves looking at your future, like planning the vision board of your dream life, doing things to shake up your life, which is actually really good. I've been recently learning about the law of vibration and how everything has this energy that is moving constantly, even things like this paper or like a dead body. And keeping things moving energetically is really good for manifesting what you want. So you could even start trying a new method of manifestation where you're not just writing things down, but perhaps even like singing them out or dancing them out to get that energy flowing within you and outward into the universe. Then towards the middle of the month here, this is unclear, of course, because tarot is always changing. You know, our life paths are always changing, so it can't be definite, like this is what's going to happen on this specific day and on that specific day. It's not like that. So right now here, there's a bit of unclarity, but it looks like towards the middle of the month, we've got here Queen of Wands. Such a magnificent card. Look at that. Very fearsome. And underneath it, or with it, we've got these two cards. Eight of Pentacles with Princess of Pentacles. Princess also being the Page of Pentacles. So perhaps these could be clarifiers for the Queen of Wands, where your finances could have been slow, and they might still be a little bit slow during this month since these are reversed. But because you're putting in the work, you are feeling like the Queen of Wands, more empowered and trusting that things are aligning and that they are happening even if you don't see them. Kind of like when we're learning a new language or we're starting to work out. In a day, you're not going to see results. In a week, you're not going to see results. But month by month, as you keep going, towards the end of the year, you realize you've learned the language and you've lost 10 pounds. That's possibly a concept you're finally starting to understand. So I see that with however you were feeling before, perhaps overworked, or like your work was not being recognized, or it was being wasted, you weren't getting paid enough, weren't unsuccessful enough, nothing enough. You're shifting your mindset to trust, how I was saying. And because possibly you're finally feeling super clear about your goals and acting towards them, especially in being able to use what you're truly passionate about and the skills you have. Like you might even be finding new ways to express yourself, and you're just like vibrating with ideas throughout this month, which, as I mentioned, with how you're speaking out, you could actually be sharing those, releasing those ideas, whether at work or like in your influence, in your business, in your social media, which is in turn gaining you popularity. And it is most definitely adding up. So perhaps that is why throughout this month, we didn't really get that many cards. It looks like your month is consisting of a lot of repetitive work and continued hustle. Just be sure that you're being aware of your actions and what's working and what's not. And so towards the end of the month here, we've got these cards, Queen of Pentacles reversed and Three of Pentacles. So this clarifies what I was saying about how there's not really a change in the outer world financially, but you're getting work done. And especially perhaps you might actually be collaborating with people with great ideas and actually be getting opportunities to get your ideas out. And they might not pay up front, but it's adding up. Like this could involve an internship or a volunteer program that you design a project for them to get some attention, recognition, and credibility. Or this could also be about putting in the work for a new idea that perhaps you had at the beginning of the month or the middle of the month. And this idea could involve others as well. Maybe this is when you actually launch it and you present it to the world, or at least complete it. So make sure to have fun with the process, stay in that mindset, not have expectations where you're in the mindset of like, this is how it's gotta be, or I'm horrible, I suck, don't go into that mindset. More of just stay excited, work on it, enjoy every step of the way, and then see where things lead you. Because it's still good to envision what you really want. It's still good to set those goals of like how many clients you want to collect or how much money you want to make. But it doesn't have to be definite as in this is when it's gotta happen. It could happen in a different way, even better. In addition to these cards here, you also got these outside of the month. So perhaps this is the overall message, the overall energy, which is Seven of Pentacles reversed. And it says here, failure. And then right here, the Fool. So see, this failure mindset, that needs to go. You shouldn't worry about that. And you shouldn't think of yourself that way no matter what you've experienced. I highly recommend you read the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill and follow it. That will lead you to success. Because thinking of yourself negatively is only going to continue that going. Even if you want something better, even if you tell yourself you're gonna make it, if in your core you're thinking, well, so far this is all the failure I've achieved, that's the energy you're vibrating in. You know how I've been talking about enjoying the process. See, that is being repeated right here with the Fool card. That one is about not having those expectations. You can set the goals, but don't expect it to go exactly that way. Let things flow and stay aware so that, as I mentioned, you can shift where needed, you can change things up, you can listen to where you are being led. Like how in this image, he's actually looking at this butterfly. So you don't want to blindly go off a cliff into the crocodile when you've got your spirit guides and your intuition guiding you to turn the other way. Fighting things when they are not working, that is fighting your intuition and spirit guides, rather than listening to what it is you're meant to learn there. Now, career-wise, I've got these cards here for you. This is the advice. I've already been giving a lot of advice, but here's some more. The Eight of Pentacles reversed, once again, like here, and the Three of Wands reversed, and the Magician. So with that, it's emphasizing continue listening. I feel like you probably have a strong connection with your spirit guides and your intuition and your third eye. You could even be someone that is spiritual or learning about it. So the advice here is to stay in that mindset of listening to yourself so that you can stay aligned with your path and where it's leading you. Remember to not overwork yourself. Keep things balanced where you still designate time for yourself to relax and refresh. And completing projects before rushing on to the next, where you'll start becoming overwhelmed with all the work you're doing and losing track of things, piling up all the unfinished work. And perhaps even look into what you already have. With the Magician here, this is a card of resourcefulness, having everything you need, all the tools, the networks, the connections, the ideas to manifest your dreams. So look into what you already have. Perhaps you might find that you actually have a certain connection or a certain resource that you can use to level up. Perhaps even take some time to look at what it is you've done, what it is that has worked and what hasn't. Documenting things is possibly going to be important for you. Documenting the progress, your finances, looking into your schedule, documenting your strategies, your ideas. So far, I've been kind of getting a very entrepreneurial vibe from this group. But if you're not entrepreneurial and you have a 9-to-5 type of job, then with this eye, I feel like you need to actually look at your documents and perhaps see where you can save up some money that you can then invest into something else or save to be prepared for your future. With the Play card, perhaps it's about how you shouldn't overwork yourself. You should still designate that time for your family and yourself. Perhaps even bring in a new energy into your work environment so that you're recognized for it. That could attract opportunities. Because while everyone else is just kind of turning into zombies, being numb and doing the work for the sake of work or for just safety, security, and survival, you'll stand out amongst them. And then for relationships here, we've got these two cards for those of you that are singles, the Four of Cups and the Seven of Swords. So the Four of Cups is, it looks like you're contemplating your dating life, perhaps contemplating whether you should give your time to someone or focus on yourself and your work, or perhaps you're contemplating multiple dates since you might actually be getting a lot of attention for this new radiance. And so with the Seven of Swords, I feel like perhaps there is something that's going on that you might be overthinking, and the advice here is to not let it get to you, to not take it personal. Whatever is happening from others, let things be and stay in your mode of playing. Not playing them. That's not what I'm saying. Don't play games. What I'm saying is just like playing with spirit, playing like staying in the flow. Rather than perhaps becoming a little too obsessed with these dates and your love life, You might need to break away from that with the break the chain card and not give too much of yourself, where the transformation card comes in, remembering that you are a king or queen and attracting love rather than fighting for it, rather than like always wanting it. You might need to retreat a little bit from that if you start noticing that you're kind of becoming a little codependent. And for those of you that are in a relationship, we've got here the Lovers reversed with Wheel of Fortune reversed and Page of Cups reversed. So these are advisory cards. This is not what's going to happen. And what I get from it is that for those of you that are in a relationship, you might need to balance things out as well with how they're in this card. The element here is yin and yang symbol. Are you giving too much or too little, becoming overbearing on the relationship, or is your partner doing that? Is someone not expressing their feelings? Or if they do, it comes off as controlling or like attitude rather than coming from the heart. You guys are together for a reason and you can work through this. You guys are a team, remember that. So whatever obstacles come your way, this could actually be other things, like outer things from you guys, not necessarily between you guys. There might be obstacles that could actually affect you emotionally, and so that is where opening up to each other can actually grow your bond to become stronger as you work together through this. Don't be afraid to ask for help and to communicate your needs. Remind them that you're there for them and that you love the things, like bring up the things you love about them so that they can listen to the things that you want to happen more, rather than just attacking them for what they're doing wrong. Although if you actually believe that you are in a toxic relationship where someone is playing victim or there's constant arguments where you're confused and overwhelmed, then it's up to you to decide what to do with this connection, especially if it's getting in your way of work and life and yourself. And lastly, I kind of wanted to look at why you picked the queen here, the queen piece, because I take this queen as the Queen of Swords. So perhaps this is your energy, and this could confirm whether this was your reading. With the Queen clarification, we've got here 2 of Stones and 10 of Mirrors, which are cards that are communicating to not make definite decisions just yet about anything. Like whether you're thinking of quitting your job, for example. Perhaps don't do that just yet. Figure things out, and then in time you can decide what you need to do. Or if you're trying to decide between one partner or another, instead of jumping into conclusions about one of them, gain the information that you need over time. Get to know each other. See this 10 of Mirrors here? This is also the 10 of Cups here. But while this energy was about perhaps overgiving, here the energy is emphasized by the Mirrors and how you can actually look within about what information have you collected. I feel like you've probably noticed how your life has been piecing together towards where you are today. Switching from being the hard, cold Queen of Swords towards more of the empowered Queen of Swords, which knows how to set her boundaries, but still be in touch with her intuition and vulnerability. So that's the reading I got for you. If it resonated, comment down below that you chose this pile and what you're excited or not excited about hearing. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Since I'm a new YouTuber, every like and subscribe counts to expose my channel to others that need a little encouragement in their lives. I'd be super grateful if you would also join my community by turning on the bell button so that you don't miss my videos every week. I'll see you in the next one. Hey there, group 2. So you chose this Tower chess piece, and now we're going to look into your month of February I wanted to try this fun new thing, and so you can let me know what you think of it, if you enjoyed it, so that I could keep bringing them back each month. Basically, I drew the map here, the calendar here, and so I'm going to see where the cards fall so that they can get some details for us about specific days perhaps and what you can expect in your life. So let's get started. If you're new to tarot pick a card readings on YouTube, or you're new to my channel, just know that not everything will resonate because these are general readings for a lot of people's different stories. So just take what clicks with you and leave the rest for specific details for other people. And if the reading doesn't sound like you at all from within the very first minute, remember you can go back and pick a different pile. Alright, so I'm tripping out a little bit here because you got so many cards, just like the first pile. But there's a bit of reversal. There's similarities, but differences at the same time. Because for example, the devil here in pile 1 was it was reversed. So for them, they were overcoming certain addictions and a toxic cycle. Whereas for you, with how it is right side up over here in the second week of February, perhaps you might actually be faced with a certain obstacle that will test you. It will test perhaps your relationships, your friendships, your connection to self or to the divine, where you'll need to stand strong in trusting others, not pulling away. You will need others to get through this. And that includes not going into a dark loop, as in also those addictions or negative habits. So perhaps this is a lesson you need to learn to strengthen yourself and be able to advance in your life. That's one example of how you got a similar card to pile 1. And the next example is you actually also got the break the chain card just like them. So you could be learning certain lessons just like them, but you could be at different levels. So with how you got the renewal card as well, these two, the first pile, maybe there's something going on between you guys. I don't know if you're friends or your family or perhaps a partner, because of how in this renewal image, there is a family here. This is a divine connection perhaps that is actually having you look into your life. How here it says, reviewing the past with compassion and forgiveness, time to head in a new direction, clarity on your life purpose. In your heart, you know what to do. So it's about really listening to yourself. It's funny because you actually got the King of Swords and they got the Queen of Swords. So this is another synchronicity about how there's a connection between you guys, where you balance each other out, your energies. Maybe they're the ones that could also help you through this, so you could help each other. Especially with how this card is about forgiveness and compassion and your heart, this could revolve around healing. Because in life, we want to continue on with joy so that we can keep spreading positivity, right? We don't want to allow the corruptions of the world to tarnish our light. And how it says here with the King card, see, look at his face. He looks like he's bored or pissed off or just tired of it all, perhaps feeling alone. And right here the card says intelligent, impartial, respected, stoic, receiving wise advice, remain objective and fair-minded, public speaking, communicate clearly, unemotional relationships, or being emotionally unavailable. So either you or the person you're in contact with is emotionally unavailable. This could be a parent or a friend or, like I said, a partner. So I don't know which one it would be that is being a little distant and pushing what could be beautiful, pushing it away. That is what breaking the cycle is about. Don't be like the rest of the world that allows corruption to win. Whatever has happened in your past, it doesn't need to repeat. That's how it says here, rewriting the future. Every person and every experience is something totally new. Just because certain people have hurt you or certain experiences have traumatized you doesn't mean that they'll happen again. And just like I told pile 1, it looks like you also need to still practice a little bit of flowing with the divine, not having expectations over how things will work out. Putting in that effort to make your life the way you want it to be, so that your story, your beautiful story, can come to life. And then the last 2 synchronicities, or the similar cards here that you have, that pile 1 did, are in your relationships here. So these are the cards for those of you that are singles, 4 of Wands and 4 of Cups, both reversed. Pile 1 has the 4 of Cups right side up. So in their aspect, they could be receiving lots of attention and having to contemplate who and where they give their attention to, perhaps because they gave too much and you need to pull it back a little. Whereas for you, with how it's reversed, now I take it as you're not giving enough, like how I've been feeling the vibe here, that you're using other things to distract you from what this could be. Like you're not allowing this magic to happen from the 4 of Wands. With how you got both of these cards being 4s, 4s are actually also angel numbers about being protected, spiritually protected. So if you are someone that is in tune with your spirituality, then spirit and your guides, they want you to trust in them. They've been working really hard to manifest things, to align things to come your way. I don't know if you saw like how my hands were waving around. That's what I got from this card here. So who is around you that you're not seeing is trying to offer you something special? And for those of you that are in a relationship, literally these 2 cards, the last group, first group also got, but reversed. Because for them, it was more about working together through certain struggles that could be going their way. And for you, it looks like perhaps you're doing a similar thing as in the singles here, with how the Emperor card, it looks like the little owl is hiding in the tree. So maybe you're kind of retreating away. See how in this card she looks very stressed and she's looking right at the love card. So perhaps you could be overthinking something they say or do, and that could cause a bit of a drift between you guys. Where the advice is like how this card says here, about looking at things through compassion. Here with the Emperor, how it has it's showing the tree roots underneath. This is about nurturing life. By looking at the bright side, looking at the sun here, and allowing love to nurture those roots. Maybe this is a new relationship and it's starting to kind of scare you now that it's become committed. But don't let those fears ruin something beautiful. Like the Lover's card is the ultimate card about being united with your one. Perhaps open up to them. The 7 of Swords is also a card of like keeping secrets and holding things back. So the advice would be to let that out so that you can allow the relationship to bloom over time. It looks like with the Lover's card, you've got a long journey ahead of you. So be excited about it. You've started something new that is only going up. And by the way, this doesn't just have to be a new relationship. It could also be a new marriage in which you need to learn to work with each other, to adapt to this new lifestyle. And that is why communication is important, so that you can stay on the same page, understand each other, and figure things out. Now for the details of your month, After going through all the synchronicities, we've got here for the beginning of the month, like February 1, you've got the Empress with Ace of Pentacles reversed. So perhaps you could be putting something aside to make room for something else, because the Empress card is a card of nurturing yourself, your finances. But as you can see here with the Ace of Pentacles, it's also similar to that because it has the plants that are growing, but because it's reversed, that's why I'm thinking like perhaps you're giving attention to this other thing. It could also be that you're giving more attention to yourself rather than perhaps before you used to be more material focused, like about the things that you have and your money and career, where you forget about yourself. But now in the beginning of the month, you could be spending some time to see your surroundings in a new light. See, she kind of looks like she's chilling, looking at the butterflies and the tree and the birds, feeling comfortable and secure to do that because she knows that she has been working hard her entire life and she doesn't need to be slaving away to it. Maybe this is a break from work for that day, like the beginning of February, where you go on a short trip. Then towards the 14th here, the 14th of February, it looks like, you got Two of Pentacles reversed, which is the card of changes and decisions. And then you also got King of Cups. So for the 14th of February, this could signify that if you don't make a choice about something, the choice is going to be made for you. So what can you do to empower yourself to make that decision using your intuition and your inner wisdom and your creativity? Then the Seven of Cups here by the end of the month and the Queen of Pentacles also make me feel like you're going through a sort of journey this month, because the Seven of Cups is a card of kind of daydreaming a little too much for something better, when in reality, you already have everything you need. And some of you could be turning into certain addictions, like how I mentioned with the Devil card, because this is also a card of overindulging on something to try to fill a void. And in reality, that's not going to happen. You could be overindulging in work or overindulging with intimacy or alcohol or drugs. But then it looks like with the Queen of Pentacles, you could actually realize what you're doing, that you need to get yourself out of that mindset that is just holding you back. And you could be really assessing your life and your choices and the way you treat others. And to ask yourself, what do I really want? See, because with these two cards, I asked why you picked the Tower. And the Tower is actually also a card in tarot for changes, upcoming changes, which is also reflected here with the Renewal card. So for clarifiers about the Tower, you got Nine of Mirrors, which is also Nine of Cups, and the Star reversed. Look at these beautiful cards. And this is funny. This is funny because this is actually also emphasized in these additional cards here, which are clarifiers for the Oracle here. You've got Page of Pentacles with Temperance reversed. So the energy in these four cards is about being abundant. Like you really have worked hard, you've achieved a lot, but perhaps you're not actually acknowledging all the hard work you've put in, all that you've accomplished, and so you're not really showing gratitude if you're staying in the mindset of wanting something else, like this guy here. Especially when things are coming into your life and you're not allowing them in. These cards are about, like here you can see the raindrops creating such beauty in and joy in the characters' lives here, in the fairies' lives. And that's also shown here with the Page of Pentacles, how the cat is being offered a treat. So you have things coming for you. Your wishes are coming true. But then look at these two, the star and reverse, reversed. The star is kind of like there is that light, but you're dimming it. And the temperance is about, when it's reversed, it's about impatience. Of course, it's understandable. We all want things to happen, right? We've been putting in a lot of work, and we might be asking ourselves, when is my turn to succeed? And then we forget everything else we've accomplished and everything we have in our lives compared to others that do not have what we have. So with your wishes coming true, this could be about what I was saying here with love, and it could also be about your career, because then if we look deeper into the cards you have here, this could actually be signifying that you could get a new job offer or get the chance to invest in an idea you've had, which will make you feel more fulfilled compared to what you were already doing that perhaps could have been draining. And the advice for that are these three cards right here. The 7 of Cups reversed, 7 of Pentacles, and 10 of Wands reversed. So you got the 7 of Cups again right here. And so I get a few different messages with these. One about not overdoing yourself. Like how I was saying, the overindulging in work or overindulging in distractions. Especially when you're starting something new, you want to be focused and to trust that it's growing, letting things grow in their time, not being like the Temperance reverse, which is all about exhaustion and impatience and irritability to where you're reacting to everyone around you. Then with the 10 of Wands reversed, it's about releasing some work so that you can have room over other. And not overdo yourself to where you burn out, or even if it's you're like putting all your eggs in one basket financially and then you run out. Unless you're rich, it's much wiser to take your time with things so that they grow effortlessly, with the mindset of the more work you put in, the more rewards you'll achieve. Of course, also being smart work, not just doing work for the sake of work. So what is it that you need to release that is not aligned with your goals? And for those of you that actually do achieve like super maximum abundance, like it's reflected in the 9 of Mirrors and the Empress, perhaps still be careful with your finances. That could be why you have that warning here with the Devil and the messages about patience, to not instantly, as soon as you get the money, like use it, you know. There have been stories, for example, of music artists where they became rich and they used all their money and then they fell out. You don't want to be that, right? You want that success to continue. And that's the reading I got for you. If it resonated, comment down below that you chose this pile and what you're excited or not excited about hearing. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Since I'm a new YouTuber, every like and subscribe counts to expose my channel to others that need a little encouragement in their lives. I'd be super grateful if you would also join my community by turning on the bell button so that you don't miss my videos every week. I'll see you in my next one. Hey there, group 3. So this is your reading if you picked this Bishop chess piece from the Harry Potter chess set. And for this month of February, I wanted to do something fun. I hope you like this. If you do, let me know. Comment down below and I'll keep bringing this back each month. So basically, I have the calendar here and I'm going to see where the cards fall to give us some details about what you can expect in your life for February. All right, so let's get right into it. If you're new to tarot pick a card readings on YouTube, or you're new to my channel, just know that not everything will resonate because these are general readings for a lot of people's different stories. So just take what clicks with you and leave the rest for like specific details for other people. And if the reading doesn't sound like you at all from within the very first minute, remember you can go back and pick a different pile. Alright, so I took a moment to do some automatic writing because there were some things that were a little bit unclear to me, but now it makes sense. And so we're going to start with confirmation that this could be the pile for you based on how you picked the bishop here, which actually makes me think of Hierophant. And then look at this, you got the Hierophant here. These two cards, the Hierophant and Five of Wands reversed, are clarifying your energies, which are Balance reversed, and Balance is also the Temperance card, along with the Great Gathering, saying here that it's all coming together. You're probably getting intuitive hits and connecting with your soul tribe. And so that is awesome that you got the Hierophant here, because along with that, the clarifiers for this piece, you got Knight of Pentacles reversed, the Illusionist, and the Visionary also reversed, which is the Knight of Swords. And with these energies, I feel like you are at a point in your life where things are shifting, like where perhaps in your career or your job, things, everyone has experienced a bit of a halt due to last year's quarantine that is still going on right now, which could have caused a bit of doubt within you and perhaps even anxiety throughout all of this slowness happening in life. But you were able to pull through it. And so now there could be things you are learning that are helping you advance spiritually, energetically, and in turn, that is reflecting out to your physical world, which includes turning your life around with being noticed in your career as a leader, as a highly skilled, knowledgeable employee or professional in your craft. Amongst all the competition you could have possibly been worried about, like if you had a bit of self-doubt in your abilities, perhaps setting exceptionally high standards on yourself, whereas now you're learning to release things while taking action in what you really want, not just waiting for things to happen. Perhaps some of you are actually diving deep into the spiritual world and law of attraction and manifestation, which is why these two cards could be reversed, telling me that you could have been disconnected with that spiritual knowledge, with your inner wisdom that you might have disregarded before, and could be realizing that deep down, you're actually a holistic healer, perhaps just kind of living life the way society has taught you. And as you're learning about these new concepts, now you are going after your dreams. For some of you, I also get the sense that your dreams and your goals actually involve standing up for something, like how you can see here with his hand up. The way that I see it from my perspective, I actually didn't see these two fingers. It looked more like a fist, like this. And so this could be representing being a knight for protecting the world in the way that you resonate with. Because of course we can't do it all, but we can focus on one thing, whether that be the environment or children or the government, whichever one you really gravitate towards seeking information and educating yourself on it so that you can also educate others. Being a truth seeker. With details for your month, I also got that perhaps you could be celebrating something because the Hierophant card is one about ceremonies and rituals, and that perhaps you're bonding with friends or family or a community because of the Great Gathering card. Perhaps even online, since here in this image, it actually looks like they're all covered up, reflecting the masks, and they're also keeping their distance. So it could be online, or if you do unite with them in person, perhaps you're still being safe with social distancing, especially if you're out in nature. That's still really great to be in that natural, cleansing, fresh air. Having a moment to change from isolation and repetitive, monotonous life. Then for the details that we have here in your month of February, we have in the very beginning, I feel like this is the energy you are taking into your month. And look at that. You've got 6 of Pentacles, which says success, with 5 of Pentacles reversed, and the Hanged Man reversed. So with this, I feel like you're feeling great and secure. Like how I mentioned, your life is turning around. Perhaps all the hustle you've been doing, you're kind of taking a moment to yourself now with how this guy looks like he's meditating. Usually the Hanged Man, when it's reversed, it's kind of the energy of things not being learned. But that's not what I get from this. Instead, I take it as how he's taking a moment, taking a break to contemplate, to recollect your thoughts, your resources, have that breather to refresh and be able to strategize for what to do next. Especially if it involves your money, like maybe you're contemplating buying something big or investing in something big. With how the money is actually dropping into her dress, it's kind of like you could be receiving a promotion or a new income source where you're really feeling fulfilled and excited for what's ahead. No longer worried, like how this card has the worry word here and it's reversed, since you're seeing the fruits of your labor. Then towards the second week, perhaps this card is kind of in between. So it's like right here in the 7th, but also on the 14th of February. So it could be one of those weekends. That could be when you actually take your trip or your break, because look at this card. He looks like he's camping out. This is the 8 of Cups, and that is also a card about starting to follow your dreams, leaving something behind, particularly something that made you feel secure, leaving behind your comfort zone, because you see the new possibilities and it's about to start a new cycle. This transition here that I was talking about with perhaps taking that break is really great to go between one type of hustle towards the next. And then with these 2 cards towards the end of the month, we've got the Fool reversed and 10 of Swords. So what I get from this is that perhaps something might happen, something might catch you off guard, or you might get like a block in what it is that you really want or what you've been working on. But as you can see here in the 10 of Swords, she looks like she's holding on to the clouds and the swords are helping her. So I take that as even through this, even though this happens, I don't feel like it's going to affect you. It might scare you, of course, like I said, it's unexpected, but there is still either emotional support, if this is involving, or some type of cushion with resources and finances. So you'll be able to figure this out and get through it. Sometimes our guides are actually trying to lead us somewhere else, somewhere better. And so for career advice, we've got these 3 cards right here. Temperance reversed. Okay. Temperance reversed, 9 of Wands reversed, and the Hermit. And Temperance is actually also this card right here, which says here, blending the ideas of others with your own to create something extraordinary. Successful compromise, the power of diversity, self-control, patience, and balance. So with these 2 cards, both being from different decks and both being reversed, I take it as, even though it's talking about patience, that you don't need to wait any longer. Like you're doing great listening to yourself and when you need breaks, but keeping on going ahead at your pace. These are also reminders about how perhaps, like I mentioned, this thing that surprises you towards the end of the month. isn't something to be afraid of. The messages here are about not giving up. Perhaps you can actually try something new to figure out the answers. Or if it involves communication with others and you see tensions rising, remember to communicate objectively, not emotionally. You don't want to react and piss people off and then you don't end up getting what you want. And with whatever you're educating yourself about, you are on the right track. Just perhaps try to stay organized and disciplined so that you don't overdo yourself or burn out. And lastly, for your relationships here, we've got these two cards for singles, King of Cups reversed and Nine of Pentacles. This is really interesting because the first message that I actually got was that perhaps you are enjoying a bit of the sugar baby life. Like that's what this image is giving me vibes about. I don't know if that's why that thought crossed my mind, but it did. And besides that, these are also reflecting that perhaps you could be dealing with people that are actually not being their true self. Like this is kind of the vibe of a charmer that is possibly spoiling you, giving you gifts, giving you attention. I mean, attention, but their intentions may not be pure. So you need to actually embody this Nine of Pentacles. Focusing on you, spoiling yourself, and having that grace to have people come to you over time rather than allowing these fake charmers to weasel their way in. When you focus on you, you start learning about yourself, you're able to build your stability, your security, and then decide who you do want to allow into your life rather than just anyone that comes your way. But I also got the vibe here that perhaps you actually left someone. So these are all like the different stories since this is a general reading and everyone is having their own experiences. So you know which one is for you. But so this other one is that perhaps you actually left someone that was emotionally draining. And so now you are feeling like this, like the Nine of Pentacles, starting to spoil yourself, take care of yourself, perhaps even taking photos, like hot photos and posting them on social media. And as I already mentioned with the other person about focusing on themselves, that's the same thing for you. It's really good to do that, to take that time for you. Otherwise, those charmers, they know when someone is desperate and clingy. And then for those of you that are in a relationship here, we've got Five of Pentacles with Three of Swords. So I know they look scary, but I don't get a negative message from here. I mean, for some of you, perhaps. And once again, multiple stories, you decide, you know what is your story. So these are the ones that I get. The first one is that perhaps, so this is the solemn one. Perhaps you could be feeling a bit neglected, a bit alone, either because your partner is unaware about how you're feeling, or if they had to go on a work trip or something is in their way, keeping them away from you, that then you miss them. Another one of the solemn stories is that perhaps your partner is actually asking too much of you, being this emotionally draining type of King of Cups reversed. And the last one is a little more happy. The other one is that together you're actually healing as they prove themselves to you and they're always there for you. And the message here, the advice is that whatever is your situation or whatever pain you go through, whether it is because of them or because of anything else, if you can ask them for help, don't be afraid to ask. If you can ask others for advice, seek those outer perspectives. If you need to sit down to communicate openly with each other so that there's an understanding and teamwork, then do that ASAP. Don't push it off and let problems multiply. And if you're perhaps living that life where you're stuck at home while your partner works, then it's time that you find a little bit of independence where you can actually contribute your ideas or your talents or your passions in some type of community. Because healthy relationships should not revolve just around the relationship. Each one should be allowed to be an individual with their own interests. Then you'll have more to talk about with each other. And that's the reading I got for you. If it resonated, comment down below that you chose this group and what you liked or didn't like. Subscribe and hit the bell button so that you can watch every weekly video, and share with your friends so that they can also receive some enlightenment and encouragement in their lives. Thank you for watching. Hey there, group 4. So this is your message if you chose the King from this Harry Potter chess set. And for this monthly reading, I decided to do something a little different here by having the calendar month and seeing where the cards fall to give us some details about your days. And then, of course, look into your finance, love, and general energies. If you think this is a cool idea and you like it, let me know. Comment it down below so that I can keep bringing it back. But let's see what we have for you. If you're new to tarot pick-a-card readings on YouTube, or you're new to my channel, just know that not everything will resonate because these are general readings for a lot of people's different stories. So just take what clicks with you and leave the rest for specific details for other people. And if the reading doesn't sound like you at all from within the very first minute, remember you can go back and pick a different pile. Alright, so you got here for the clarifiers of why you chose this King, which I actually take as the King of Swords. And the King of Swords is, at least in your story, someone that is stern, tough, intellectual, and a confident protector of others. And so for the clarifiers here, we got the Watcher, Queen of Mirrors, which is also the Queen of Swords, very interesting. And the Companion, King of Spirals reversed, which is also the King of Wands. So oftentimes when there is a pair, like how right here I said the King of Swords and then you also got the Queen of Swords, this could reflect a potential relationship or your partner or someone that is very impactful in your life. And in this particular case, this person is the Queen of Swords energy, which is someone wise, like she has lived through it. I mean, even in this image, she's an elderly woman and she's guided by this owl. So she has lived through all the tough and hard aspects of life, but continues forth. This doesn't mean that I'm talking about a woman, a feminine. This could just be this type of energy that this person resembles, and it's actually compatible with yours. But perhaps with how the King of Spirals was reversed here, and then we got the Wheel of Fortune on top of these cards, I feel like there could have been something you were going through that caused a rift in your connection, and you can be sure that things will turn back around. Everything will be great again. The Wheel of Fortune is a card of blessings. You are being blessed in this connection. Specifically, this rift could have been something emotional or something like with your passions, creative passions getting in the way, or even like in the bedroom, especially if one or both was overworked and then you're not bringing it your all, like you don't even want to have intimacy. Or if you're single as a Pringle, and here we've got the Queen of Mirrors energy, this could still be someone that perhaps you had some creative differences, maybe some misunderstandings, and now the air will be cleared to where you can have fun again without any awkwardness. Is this sounding like you? Then this confirms that this is your pile. But if it doesn't, of course, you can pick a different one. And then for the energy surrounding your month, upcoming month of February, you've got here this Six of Wands, Six of Fire card, which says victory, wise choices that bring public recognition and success, promotions, awards, or scholarships. But this one was reversed. Interesting. And then with that, you have here Imrama. Where are you being called to journey to? So with these two cards, I asked for some clarifiers, and we got here Ten of Pentacles and Strength reversed. So I do sense, even though this is reversed, I do sense a victory coming, especially as you keep on pulling through it. Because the Ten of Pentacles and Ten of Cups also, it's like a card of abundance and happiness. But so, yeah, same thing here. Ten of Pentacles, financially abundant, financially secure. Perhaps you were worried about something, especially if it was something new with how it's saying here, where are you being called to journey to? You rushed into some type of decision that others could have disagreed with, and you really set your mind into it, your drive. So that is why you're seeing here the Ten of Pentacles, confirming to keep on doing that. And then look at this. So you got this victory card, Six of Wands, and here it is again. Oh my God, this is so awesome. Six of Wands, the victory card, but this time it's right side up at the end of the month. Perhaps you could have been starting like this, and then it's turning positive. Look at how excited and fulfilled she's looking here, like on top of the mountain. Being at the top of your game at work and in your professional life. You are super close, and I see here that this month is going to be very active for you because you have the Four of Swords reversed. You're going into the month, putting in the work, not taking breaks, which of course you do need to be mindful of. You don't want to burn out. And then towards the middle end of the month, you're starting to relax. Here's the Nine of Swords reversed. So this one is about being in your head too much, not having any sleep, stressing chaotically. And since it's reversed, it's like confirming that you'll be starting to relax, which will then, of course, end in the Six of Wands success. And perhaps here with how the Nine of Pentacles is reversed, you might actually kind of doubt yourself a little bit right before getting that achievement. And for advice to be able to make this happen, we've got here Eight of Pentacles, the Hermit reversed, and the Fool reversed. So this is bringing to mind that perhaps you could have, you already rushed into this, so you might as well complete it. And the way you can be sure that it will work out is by not continuing to rush through. Instead, do it wisely. Make sure you're scheduling things and getting them done. Make sure you're not putting your energy in mindless work that is not contributing to your end goal. What skills do you need to educate yourself on a little bit more? Or who can you seek as a mentor or for advice? Let's see what this card actually says, because this is the first time I've gotten it from this deck. And so we can look at the book here to get you some specifics. All right, so right here it says, where are you being called to journey to? The Celtic word Imrama means a journey of the soul, a voyage on which we don't know where we are going, but our soul knows the way. If you pulled this card, you are either being called on a soul journey or are already on one. It could be to a physical ancient place or metaphoric. When we journey to places that our soul remembers, a shift takes place, both within us and to the planet as well. You are being called to journey to a place that is sacred to your soul. Perhaps it is to journey to the world's sacred sites, or called to cross the country, climb a mountain, lie on the desert floor, or drink from an ancient well. There are places to see and old friends to meet. I see spontaneous pilgrimages in your future. If a physical voyage isn't possible, journey through the portal of your heart. Follow the invisible soul trail and be willing to explore. Maybe read a book or watch a movie about a sacred time or place. Or perhaps you are being called to study an ancient lineage or body of work. Whatever your circumstances, your soul is ready to journey deep. See, this is most definitely about continuing to educate yourself on these final steps here and listening to your heart. You are on the right track. Even if you don't know all the answers, like I said, you can seek those answers. Perhaps you could even get the best ideas once you're like in the shower or swimming. And perhaps another tip here is that for you in your path, you shouldn't try to do things differently from others. I feel like specifically for you, you actually do need to follow the rules, follow the system, the way, what it is that you want to be done needs to be done or has been done in the past. Perhaps for some of you, I've been kind of going on about this vibe of entrepreneurship, but not everyone is entrepreneurs. So perhaps for some of you that are just in your career stressing out like crazy, towards the end of the month, you might actually be able to go on a trip. And that trip is great for you to de-stress since you're shifting energies to shake off that stress. And for those of you in relationships, now we go on to the relationship part of the reading here. For singles, we've got King of Swords reversed, King of Swords with the Chariot reversed. So very interesting, you got here the King of Swords, and I was thinking this was also what that piece was. So this could actually be about you and your energy. Maybe you're kind of wanting things to go fast, with how the Chariot here is usually that type of energy of like shooting a target, getting it done. And you might be in that type of energy that you know what you want, but you want it now, and that's not always a helpful energy. You could be spreading yourself out too thin with dating and then exhaust yourself or lose faith in love. And for others of you, I actually get a bit of a reversed message. So I kind of get the message here that you're not letting things move forward. Like you might actually be avoiding love, which is the vibe that I often get from swords. Swords, like blocking the way, being cold and distant, distrusting of others. So that's also not a good energy to have if you want love to come your way. For love to bloom, you must be patient and flow with things. Communicate honestly so that everyone is on the same page and not give your all, of course, but also be cool with giving. Don't hold yourself back out of fear. It's like a bit of a balancing act here. And lastly, for those of you that are in a relationship, we've got here 3 of Wands with the High Priestess. So beautiful. So I actually feel like you're with your divine counterpart because of how she's holding a mirror here. So that is very reflective of a twin flame couple. And then with the flowers blooming here, there's movement happening between you guys. Like perhaps you could be getting a new home together, moving in together, or you could be planning a trip together, or planning your futures, sharing dreams with each other, working together really well. That's amazing. Yeah, I don't see anything bad there. So you guys are good. And so that's the reading I got for you. If it resonated, comment down below that you chose this pile and what you're excited or not excited about. Also, subscribe to my channel and share with your friends so that they can also receive insights every week, along with turn on the little bell so that you don't miss my videos. And thank you for watching.